Governor Kehoe's State of the State address yesterday also included a moment to honor Missourians who went above and beyond during last year's disasters. Ellie Mueller reports on a Poplar Bluff man who got a pat on the back for his efforts in the wake of devastating storms.
In March 2025, an EF3 tornado tore through parts of southeast Missouri, destroying nearly 500 homes and 50 businesses. Butler County Emergency Management Director Robbie Myers coordinated the recovery response, opening the Black River Coliseum as a shelter and working with local and federal law enforcement.
That was the challenging thing, but that's the main part of my job, is connecting resources, helping empower the different groups to go do what needs to be done, being aware of what needs to be done.
Myers' diligence in doing what needed to be done got a big round of applause on Tuesday. In Governor Kehoe's State of the State address, Myers was among the Missouri heroes called out by name and honored for their service.
Myers played a pivotal role in leading recovery efforts through the coordination of volunteer organizations and local, state, and federal partners.
When he announced my name, it was a feeling of pride, but just knowing that we'd work together, not just other emergency managers, but our community all coming together.
Myers describes spring of 2025 as harrowing, but he says watching Poplar Bluff come together gave him hope.
And that was part of why we were recognized, because not all the communities in the state came together like we here in southeast Missouri did.
The governor saluted Myers' efforts as a model for other counties.
Local emergency managers like Robbie continue to be crucial in helping Missourians recover from disasters.
Ellie Mueller, Heartland News.
Myers says the recognition belongs to the entire southeast Missouri community and not just to him.